I want to talk to you about the best podcast headphones for all scenarios. I mean, the thing is that when you actually think about podcasting, of course, the mic is important, but also so is the headphones. Okay, so is the headphones. So into this conversation, here's a strategy I want you to think about. First of all, let me just explain to you a little quickly why use studio headphones for podcasting. I mean, there are two main reasons why you want to use headphones. First, when recording, it's actually a good practice to monitor your audio so you know exactly what works, what doesn't work, the tone of your voice, the ups and the downs, okay? And so monitoring your audio simply means plugging headphones into your recording device and you'll hear everything that's been recorded. So monitoring your recordings enables you to hear any issues in real time and actually fix them, right? So you don't have to actually do things, let's say, afterwards. And an example could be a mobile phone interference. This sort of thing that could completely destroy the interview you drove 3 hours or 5 hours to do, really. Imagine you only discovered this problem once you were back home loading the audio onto your computer. That's crazy, right? I mean, disappointment, you can be fatigued. I mean, it's a really it's one of those things where you want to really anticipate. So that's the first thing. The first thing is you want to really monitor your audio as you record. The second reason is that you want to think about editing and production. Obviously, you need to listen back to your audio, that's for sure. So if you want to do any sort of work, if you want to do any sort of work to it, you need to listen to it. Maybe one time, maybe once, twice, three times, or even 5 times, depending on how long the audio is and how important that podcast is for you. You can listen in lots of different ways though, from laptop speakers to state-of-the-art studio monitors. So this is an important element. Now, a lot of folks use headphones to actually listen to stuff. Okay, so this is kind of cool because it gives you flexibility and it gives you also a real time feedback. Now, I want to talk to you about choosing headphones for podcasting. So you want to think about it. You want to look at a few factors when it comes to choosing the perfect headphone for your podcasting journey. Does the headphone actually alter the sound of your audio in any way? You want to hear exactly how it sounds. Avoid actually consumer music headphones that add things like extra bass or treble. Are the headphones comfortable? Can you edit for 3 to 4 hours without the sides of your face becoming sore and itchy? Are they portable? Can they be easily transported in a bag? Considerations here are bulk, flexibility, and cable length. And how much do they cost, right? Everyone has a budget, so what's the best you can get with yours? So think about that very deeply. So let me give you the roundup here. So basically, when you think about the best podcast headphones for recording, I want to introduce to you the Audio Technica ATH M20X, okay? The Audio Technica ATH M20X. So as you can see on the screen here, this is a beautiful set of headphones, very fantastic. So the price you are looking at $49 to $75, but this actually will depend on the level of sophistication that you want, okay? And so basically, when you think about the Audio Technica ATH M20X, this is actually one of the cheapest out of the three Audio Technica models that we actually tested. But the cool thing about the M20X is that they have less of a frequency range than the 30s and the 40s, though we couldn't really both notice any audible difference between the three during our test. Now, the thing is that you have to really ask yourself, it's a matter of budget too. I think I was telling you a little earlier that everybody has a budget and you have a budget as well. So if you are, let's say if you are just a new podcaster, if you're just starting your podcasting journey and you're trying to really account your pennies, your cents and dollars right now, you want to go for this Audio Technica ATH M20X because then, I mean, when you think about it, $49 to $75, that's really great for headphones because this gives you flexibility for monetary flexibility, that is, to use the cash for other stuff. Okay, and so this is kind of cool, especially when it comes to let's say flexibility. One thing that I want to say though, and this is a biggie as we were doing our investigation, you also cannot fold this headphones, the Audio Technica ATH M20X. So and this is actually is a bummer because If you like this level of flexibility, you don't have that, but you have that flexibility with the 30s and also the 40s. Weight wise, these are slightly lighter than the other two. Okay, so I will speak about the Audio Technica ATH M30X and the Audio Technica ATH M40X later on, but just want to give you the cheapest version here. So if for any reason you are just you're thinking about budget versus let's say efficiency and functionality, then you might want to go for the Audio Technica ATH M20X. So this is really great. Again, the price you are looking at $49 to $75. Now let me talk to you about the second one, the second pair of podcast headphones for recording. You have the Audio Technica ATH M30X. Beautiful set of headphones. Look at it, fantastic. Okay, now here you are looking at a slightly pricier sort of set of tools. So you're looking at $59 all the way to $85. Okay, and so now this is actually the mid-range Audio Technica that you might actually think about it if you are considering a pair of headphones for your podcasting journey this year. The cool thing about the 30s is that they have more of a frequency range than the 20s, but less than the 40s. Okay, but the cool thing is that this pair of headphones can be folded to make them easier for transporting, and this is kind of cool, especially if you have let's say you have remote interview, remote podcasting sessions for your let's say you're doing documentary style or you're doing interview style, and you have multiple guests, and you're trying to really let's say improve the quality of the sound overall. That will be very, very helpful. Now, one thing for sure is that when you actually consider this Audio Technica ATH M30X or M20X, you got to really ask yourself, are you going to actually, are you a beginner podcaster, or you are an experienced podcaster? Because this really has an important element, because if your audience is already used to a certain quality of audio, it's really it's kind of disappointing for you to change to change in transit, right? You've already accustomed your audience to a certain quality of audio. You want to maintain or even improve on that. So if you are a new podcaster, then you can try the 20 the ATH M20 or ATH M30. That's for sure. But one thing I need to say also about this ATH M30X is that I love the flexibility. You will love the flexibility it really instills in your podcasting journey, right? Because especially the fact that you can fold it, you can fold the pair of headphones. So that's kind of cool, because imagine you're doing a recording in a desert space, like you're in an area where you have no noise and you're just dealing with your interviewees, and you need to have that flexibility to actually hear the sound, to hear exactly what sounds are coming out of your mouth. I'm gonna share with you the third podcast headphone for recording. By the way, I'm still sharing with you the best podcast headphones for recording. The third one is actually the priciest of the three Audio Technica. So this is the Audio Technica ATH M40X. Okay, M40X. So the price here goes a little high. So you are looking at $79 all the way to $100. Okay. So this is actually the top range Audio Technica pair that we actually investigated. And so this pair of headphones has the highest frequency range of the three, but sound wise, we couldn't really tell the difference between any of them, because it's one of those things where you have to really think also about the comfort you are seeking in your podcast journey. That's for sure. So the cool thing about the Audio Technica ATH M40X is that you can fold this for transportation, and they come with their own carry bag too. Okay, I mean at that price, of course. I mean Audio Technica will give you everything you want. you know, so you can also turn the canes round if you need to quickly hear something through one ear, and the cable is actually the detachable with the option of a straight or coiled cable. So that's kind of better. And weight wise, these are slightly heavier than the other two. I mean, of course, you have a more technology packed into this set of headphones. So that's kind of cool, especially if you are thinking about actually upping the quality of your show down the road. One thing I want to say also that you have to really think about what works for your audience. Going back to what I said a little earlier, right? If you have accustomed your audience to a certain quality of audio, you want to stick to that. Now, can you try maybe one and then upgrade to the next? Of course. I mean, if you're not really sure of what to do, you can actually start with the ATH M20X. You can use it for a while and then use the ATH M30X and then finally go to the ATH M40X. Now, this could be a little more expensive in terms of proposition, but at least you will know the difference, okay? So the ATH M20X is cheaper, so you can start with that, use it for 3 or 6 months, and then as your audience grows, maybe even 1 year, as your audience grows, you can actually upgrade to the ATH M30X, and then the more your audience grows, then the more you can actually upgrade your equipment. You don't even have to stick with Audio Technica. You can try other players in the industry also when it comes to the best podcast headphones for recording. And I'll share with you. I have three other players that I want to share with you, and those are great also. If you're looking for the best podcast headphones for recording this year, I want to introduce you to the AKG K92. Beautiful piece on the screen, just really wonderful, and the price is really affordable too. You don't have to spend to actually break the bank to actually to really satisfy your listeners. Okay, so the price here goes from $59 all the way to $75. So this is really fantastic. You will love the fact that basically when you think about AKG K92, you have a closed back headphones. So closed back headphones, in other words, you are actually isolated from the external sound. So that's really good. And you got to ask yourself, when you actually record your podcast, what kind of listening experience do you want to have? What kind of listening experience do you want to really give your listeners too? Because this has to be, it has to go both ways. And so if you are trying to have a streamlined listening experience, then AKG K92 can really help you out. Okay. And so now basically the AKG K92 sounded fine during testing, though not as good as any of the Audio Technicas, that's for sure. But basically one thing for sure, if you're looking for something comfortable but also moderately priced, affordably priced, then you can actually think about AKG K92 or even another piece of equipment. One thing for sure, when you think about AKG K92, at least you know what you're getting yourself into, right? In other words, you can try out the process, and there are some cases, there are some geographies, some countries where AKG K92, they can actually the manufacturer can actually ship this to you for testing, but you got to have a certain follower. So if you have a certain follower base in your podcasting, basically AKG K92 doesn't mind actually sending this piece of equipment to you for free for you to test and review, and then get back to the manufacturer, but also your listeners. So that's kind of cool. This is a win-win solution if you were to ask me. So that's really fantastic to think about. Another best podcast headphones for recording I want to share with you is actually the Sony MDR7506. Now, the cool thing about Sony is that you don't have to really think about quality. Quality is there, and quality has been there for more than 40 years. I mean, everybody knows Sony products, and not just for podcasting. I mean, Sony is really great for all kinds of electronics, that's for sure. But particularly, I want to share with you the Sony MDR7506, okay? And so basically, you will love the quality, that's for sure. But the price, by the way, the price is around $100 to $135. Okay, so this will set you back that much. But the cool thing is, at least with Sony devices, you have a certain guarantee. So if you spend that much in terms of headphones, at least you have an idea that if it doesn't work, you are going to be reimbursed, or at least you are going to be like Sony will get back to you, that's for sure. Okay, and now is this pair of headphones for podcasting specifically? Not really. You can use all kinds of Sony headphones for all kinds of stuff, like for for listening to music, for podcasting, for interviewing, for all kinds of stuff. I mean, Sony is not really limiting itself to the podcasting realm only. Okay, and it's the same thing for the Audio Technicas. Okay, but one thing for sure, when during investigation, we actually found that the Audio Technicas were a little more they were slightly superior to Sony MDR, which was really surprising because Sony has been the leader in sound quality or even electronics quality for many decades now. So it was really surprising to see that when it comes to this specific Sony MDR 7506, the quality seems to be more on the Audio Technica equipment side than on Sony side. So this is really this was a disappointment for us. But hey, listen, it is what it is. If you at least you have your options, right? If you're a podcaster, you're looking for the best podcast headphones for recording. At least you have options. You can choose. You can pick and choose and what works and what doesn't work for you this year. So that's kind of cool. If you're looking for the best podcast headphones for recording, I want you to think about the Bayer Dynamic DT77 Pro 250. I mean, this was a mouthful, but hey, listen, pretty great piece of equipment, that's for sure. But pretty expensive too, because at the Bayer Dynamic DT77 Pro 250 will set you back $140 to $165. Okay, and so basically you have to really see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But at least one thing for sure, you are speaking about a higher sound quality. Okay, excellent sound quality. Now the only thing is their USB is in their sheer comfort. Really, you can edit for an entire day with this without getting the audio producer equivalent of a bed sores. And their comfort is mainly down to their furry padding. And this does come with its downside though, because they can get a bit smelly over time, especially if hygiene is not really something that you want to really focus on when it comes to your podcast headphones. Okay, and so they're not the sort of headphones you would really want to share with anyone, if you know what I mean, right? So basically, being on the premium end of the scale, they are also a bit pricey and will be overkill for the vast majority of podcasters, especially the neophyte ones. And if you are a newbie, if you're a rookie podcaster, then you want to really think about another set of. You can actually think about the Audio Technicas, maybe the ATH M20 or M30X. These are a lot better. But once you have an established follower base, an established listener base, an established sort of community, then you might want to think about the Bayer Dynamic DT77 Pro 250 to actually up your game a little bit. Also, one thing for sure, just make sure that the place you are recording in is actually well maintained in terms of the temperature. If it's too hot, it's not really good. You want to have a certain fresh environment to actually do the recording. Otherwise, you are going to sweat like crazy. And if you sweat like crazy, being the fact that this is the material is not really the furry padding. You do not want to mix furry padding and sweat. That's really not the best scenario you can really envision here. So something to really think about. So, in summary, when you think about the best podcast headphones, you got to really think about what really works for you, right? Because whether you go for the Audio Technicas or AKG K92 or Sony MDR 7506 or Bayer Dynamic TT77 Pro 250, you got to think about what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And so it's one of those things. Also, you have to think about what kind of editing and recording you want to do, because once you record a podcast, you have to think about the editing aspect of things as well. So basically, you might want to pay a little more for some extra bells and whistles with M30X and M40X when it comes to the Audio Technicas. But if budget is actually an issue for you this year, what you want to do is you want to start with the Audio Technica ATH M20X. Okay, this will give you all the length of capability that you need. Now, if you are somehow in the position of having to wear headphones for more than 4 hours a day, then you might consider the Bayer Dynamic DT77 Pro 250 for their comfort value. But they'll cost you, they'll cost you, like you saw the prices, like all the way to $165. So this is something to really think about. The question is it really worth it for you? Okay, this is an important element. Now, one thing for sure, you can also, when it comes to the best podcast headphones for recording, you can also think about a new set of headphones. For instance, you can have the NTH 100, the Rode NTH 100 headphones. Okay, Rode has created some brilliant podcasting gear over the years, but never a pair of headphones until now. They actually came out with the Rode NTH 100 headphones 2 years ago, but we didn't include it in today's list because Rode has been revamping the headphones over the last few months. Okay, so we actually wanted to wait for them to actually revamp the headphones finally, so we can actually start including it. And as a matter of fact, we are going to review this headphones too. But at $149 to $175, this Rode NTH 100 headphones are a little more expensive. So you got to really, they're kind of similar to the Bayer Dynamic DT77 Zero Pro 250. So you got to have the budget to actually afford this headphones. That's for sure. So the bottom line here in today's conversation, I spoke to you about the best podcast headphones for recording. I give you the strategy, and then I give you the roundup. So we spoke about the Audio Technicas ATH M20X, M30X, and M40X, as well as the AKG K92, Sony MDR 7506, and the Bayer Dynamic DT770 Pro 250. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.